What's going on, everybody? For those who've been here before, welcome back. For those, it's their first time, welcome to the Forge. So I've been working on this little project. I posted a couple of shorts about it, and I called it Lego Star Wars Galaxies. So we're going to pop into it, and I'm going to show you around this world seed that's 1977-1999-2015. Sorry, it's been a while since I was able to get on a stream, but kids were home from summer camp, and there's only so much I could do when that happens. All right. So if you notice, this is Storm Chaser Camp. Once you first arrive at Storm Chaser Camp, there's going to be a couple of speeder bikes. Everything here has to be player crafted. Got a little cantina, primary crafting area. This is where Trace lives, the camp supervisor. He's also the forward scout for the Rebel Alliance. Storage room that I recently just destroyed pretty much 90% of the higher tier loot that I've gathered, just so it's truly a fresh start for whoever joins this server with me. This first floor will be where the gunslinger starts from, if you pick to be a gunslinger. You got your musket, you got your marble plasma pistols, you got your basic health charm, and they get Deft Hawaiian Pizza to increase their critical rate. Over here we have where the medic lives. Slurp Launcher, DL44, an upgraded health charm, and they're going to start off with a handful of Slurp Potions that they could pass on to their team as needed if they can't get close to them with the Slurp Launcher. We're going to climb the top of this now, right here. This is where the Assault class will be based out of. They have their meat pies for health, a stone axe, 2 E11s, a hardy charm because they get an overshield, and a regular shield. That's their starting kit. And then over here in this Rebel Castle, this is where you'll have your Force Sensitive base start. And in here, you got a light side looking dagger, a dark side looking dagger. Shard Slinger will be Force Projection. Warp Rider is going to be Force Jump. A Reflection Charm, so they can reflect attacks back at enemies. And they get Energizing Cornbread to up their stamina, which is the equivalent of MP in this game. I also went ahead and destroyed all of my old stuff. I did have a couple of gem plasma pistols to get on tier with everybody else, except I do have the upgraded Hardy Charm and an Inner Fire Charm already. Once I get more players, maybe I'll discard my stuff and start fresh also. And this is going to be the little weapon shop. This is what's available currently. The chest holds what will become available once some of this stuff sells. Currency is based off of Rift Crystals, so for every star level of the item, that's how many Rift Crystals it would cost. So this Copper Spear would be a 3 Rift Crystal item. Now, if it's an item with an enchantment on it, I don't know if there's any in here right now, but these Ruby Plasma Pistols are used, but they would be 4 Rift Crystals. And then, of course, in here, this is all the stuff that will eventually go up for sale. This is a permadeath server based off of a survival server. So a little bit more hardcore than your traditional expert mode, because you don't even have triggerfish spawn you in with a totem. You have to actually craft it or buy it. And these, of course, are the 2-star versions, so they'll cost 2 Rift Crystals. Or that one will cost 1 Rift Crystal. So you always can build your own. It's still a Lego server after all. But what made this whole area unique, once we get to the top, I'll show you. So over there, you could see the dry biome. See, right there. Then over here, you got the frost biome. But what made this world seed so unique the first time I spawned into it was that's a storm biome right there. And this is Storm Chaser Camp. So we are literally, I think it's like 250 meters away. Let's go hop on a speeder and I'll show you. So let's see. Storm Chaser Camp is marked right there. We're 15 meters away from that. Storm biome literally starts 170 meters away from Storm Chaser Camp. Thought it was very interesting that I think this is the closest I've ever had a world seed spawn a storm biome. And there's the actual storm cave, and that's only 300 meters away. 360 meters away. Probably shouldn't be here right now. But looks like we're going to have to fight our way out. Maybe not. That rift crawler ability I have, I'm using that as my jetpack. Down. 2 down. And spin on a speeder bike if we can and get out of here. If we could find where it crashed. There we go. Enemies are on hard. So this could go south fast if you're not careful. Luckily, I've got enough overshield right now because of my hardy charm. But we'll get out of here. Welcome to the stream. Just showing off the survival permadeath RP server I created called Lego Star Wars Galaxies. I was just showing people the weird way this biome spawned. Right there next to Storm Chaser Camp. We survived. Let's get some rest. There we go. Everything a group of players needs to start off their mission. Because you will literally be doing everything yourself in this Storm Chaser Camp area without villagers to aid you. Of course, you got your lightsaber crafting station and force powers. Or as I like to call it, my Mandalorian jetpack. In one of the shorts I posted for this, I did attach a Discord if people want to join up or interested in it. And let's go show you the other project I have, the RP PvPvE server, the pirate one. So let's hop out of here real quick. Right now I'm in the process of rebuilding Shantytown on it to be the capital of the mainland. Peelyport on the Lost Isles is Lost Island Inlet. Let's swap to my skin for that server. And that's going to be the Shattered Coast. I just really liked that biome on the World Seed. 1977 1999 2015. Extra credits in the comments if you know the significance of those combination of numbers. So here we are in the Shattered Coast right now, in the process of rebuilding Shantytown. This is the next project right here. Right now, just Tomato Head and Beef Boss live here, as well as Lion Brand. Let's switch it to Salty Seaport and Imperial. We'll need the Imperial survival roofs for this one. All right. Oh, yeah. Anybody else online right now in this server? No. So I'm going to switch to free crafting real quick so I could finish the rebuild. All right, let's see. Taking this shack town and turning it into a pirate village. While keeping some of the pirate aesthetic. Now, I do currently have a bus station in my village that I will destroy and I will burn the resources for, just because I'm doing the construction phase of things right now. In this server, only traditional travel is available, not bus stations. In the Star Wars server, the bus stations act as like a dark side artifact that the Imperials are trying to get their hands on. Nah, too classy for this village. I've got the little one already. I don't need a bigger one for this port, for the tavern. What I need is a crafting structure. This is going to be the first village where you can actually access a metal smelter and a gem cutter. So the amber chests in between crafting stations like this is where you'll deposit rift crystals to make 10 stacks of any one resource. Be it gems, metal, in the Ninjago city, ritual oil, just to give players a reason to progress. What else can we throw out here to make it look more crafting station-like in this spot? Guess we could put the lumber mill out here. And one more. Thinking since it's a dock, let's do a food processor. Thematically that doesn't make sense. This makes more sense. Space. Let's decorate the docks now with some clutter. Well, what's up, Graveyard Boy? Welcome. Everybody make sure, if you're watching this video in the future or now, like and subscribe Graveyard Boy. He just made a pretty killer TIE Fighter build. Just working on the Pirate Survival RP PvE server. I can hop over to the Star Wars one, though, if you need me to. I'm just decorating this new dock I added. Nice, man. Sure, it's going to come out epic as usual. I have a basic TIE Fighter design I like to use. I'm going to find a way to incorporate the windshield into mine as well. I like what you did with that. It really opens up Starship design, those windshields. Right now, I'm just messing around. Oh, is that Mos Espa? That's Mos Espa Spaceport, the part I'm looking for. There we go. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. You want to peek at the Star Wars version of this server I have? So I'm almost done with what I was doing here. It's just a basic intro area where people pick which class they want to play, basically. And the first village we started in, where the players are responsible for basically everything. Let's see. Let's switch this to the Imperial roof too. I should do that on the other one over there as well before I hop over. I only want Imperial Survival right now. Not interrupting my routine. I'm just goofing around. This isn't even like a story stream or anything like I would be normally doing in my expert world. This is more of a chill one. Like I said, I just wanted to get a little bit more of this area fleshed out. Give it a little bit more wow factor when people come to the first approachable neutral port in the game. This is 800 meters off of spawn in game right now. I know it's in the way. Now it shouldn't be in the way anymore. By the way, the song you used in your TIE Fighter video, very Flash Gordon. I liked it. Yeah, sometimes they come out good. I know. I use them in my own videos. My little hot rod, rat rod one came out perfect on the first try. Normally I'm coding something like that 2 or 3 times trying to get the prompt right for it. %of the time I'll write the lyrics for mine. Used to do a lot of AI music on my old channel. And then I deleted it. Like a schmo, had over 1,000 subscribers, but I didn't want that to be the expectation for me forever. Ooh, wrong thing to hit. That's not what I wanted to hit. This is what I wanted to hit. Yeah, I noticed that a lot about yours. I like using John Williams inspired instrumentals for my Star Wars video stuff. Used to make beats a long time ago with some software called Club Create. My wife used to make fun of me for it. Let's get that chandelier back up again. 2 of them were in here before. All right. It's going to burn off all these access resources and switch it back to resources needed build mode. Right, now let's go to settings. Oh, I got a couple of really cool Mandalorian new metal songs I made that were pretty good back in the day. Very Linkin Park vibes. Let's swap over to my expert mode world real quick. I'll show you base camp there. I'm a little bit more progressed in that world than I am in the RP world, but the RP world is strictly, that's what it's going to be, an RP world. Let's get these ships back to where they need to go. These little pirate ships are so easy to make. If you get on it again, there we go. These are the ships you steal when you first arrive on this server. Every player who joins and becomes a key holder gets one of these to start off with. It's loaded with a chest of goodies, some wood, flint knock or whatever it's called, a couple of slurp juices to act as your rum. Let's see what else is in there. A shovel to dig for treasure, and a wrench and a couple of torches. That's basically everybody's starting kit. I don't know what to replace. Yeah. I test my theories in Sandbox. I got a world with my kids where we do all the Sandbox stuff. But then when I build it in survival or expert mode, it makes me feel so much better after knowing that I could do it. There we go. Let's get this little bad boy. This little dock here. Well, with the Star Wars builds, you kind of have to start off in creative. So if you're going to try and translate that into survival, it is never going to work. Not with any idea to base off of. Multimedia for me. Now I manage restaurants. There we go. Shantytown. Looking a little bit more piratey now. Let's see a nice up high view on this rock if I could get up top of it. It's not letting me get up on that. That's annoying. I had to respawn to get back to this part of the world. Do this one. There we go. That's Shantytown. It's where you steal your first boats. It's also where you have first access to your metal smelter and gem cutter. Expert mode's fun, man. Especially when you build something really creative. And the threat of loss makes you become borderline scared to leave your base sometimes. I'll go into my expert mode world to show you what I'm talking about. In expert mode, I use a lot of prefabs. Just in case you die, they're easy to replicate. Let's switch over to my Star Wars look. You loadouts. All right, so here's the expert mode. This is the one that I do the vlog style videos from. I got a couple of cool original ships I built in the Star Wars style, based loosely off of Star Wars Galaxies. Oh, don't worry, I do detailed stuff here too. You're going to see two of them right now. The reason why I'm very careful playing in this world. I was messing around with the truck parts, came up with this. All right. So first, this is the TK01-IN, I dubbed Slingshot. I incorporated one of the windshields into it. I may switch it now that I have the other one. And then this is the TK 01-HVY called the interdiction. Cramped engine room, a couple of crafting stations, flip the chests up to the roof. Bunks for 2 crewmates. The bridge. These are jump trooper seats on each side, so 4 soldiers. This is the interdiction. I set up the engines like my other craft, so I can adjust my height and stuff. So now that I'm flying up like that, I fire these engines and it'll level me out. Pitch and yaw. Oh yeah, those cannons do some damage. I have a video up there on the pirate server in one of my ships that has 6 cannons on it, and I just decimate a pirate village in it. But I like the way this came out. It's an original build based off of Mandalorian assault cruiser. Hopefully they'll give us some better weapons eventually, more Star Wars type weapons. The handle's really nice. And it uses the hover jets on the bottom. It's heavy though. Once it starts snowing like this or rain, you get a lot of turbulence. Coming for a landing. Once we get back to the base area. Reactivate the hover jets. Use the thrusters for lift to gradually get to the ground. Missing a couple of like the friendly neighborhood ones, but I pretty much got everything else. Hopefully that they bring back friendly neighborhood when Spider-Man comes out this Thursday, actually. All right, and now for the slingshot. I love this little ship. I built this on accident off of a jalopy land speeder at one point. I used the 2 grand chests on the sides there to give it more like thruster housings while letting me still at least have some storage. Pretty fast on the ground too. Call it the slingshot because of the way it takes off. Hit the world cap. This one can, but it's real slow. My TIE fighters I build, the smaller ones that I build, spin really well. This one is more for control. Because I can go into a full nosedive if I wanted to in it. So we're going to go into a full nosedive. And in the way I've got the thrusters set up. I can even intentionally make it do a nosedive. There's the little impulse thrusters I use when landing. So these are to help it dock better. Slower thrusters. Then if I ever need to kick it into gear, yeah, it was. 10 channels are nice. And my favorite part from anything Mechanical Mayhem related will always be the wrench. I did a variant of this with a cannon on it, but it was hard to aim. What the heck? Why did that flip? Some weird things have been happening with vehicles lately. Let's see if it'll let me flip this big thing over. There we go. And this is zero base. Force sensitive tree for the village. Got a pair of blasters for every element. And then my white lightsaber. In case I need to tank. And this is my expert mode. Storyline here is Lysix and Silas were members of my crew on that ship there before we crashed in the Shattered Rim. The first couple episodes was me rebuilding this ship because I started it off with like a cinematic-ish trailer with this as a wreck. And 3 episodes in or whatever, it was finally built and put back together again. And I only put expert trophies up, even though I've unlocked them all already. I only put them up if I've beaten those things so far on this server. So that's why you're not seeing a Lost Isles Stone Sick Golem or a White Dragon one. Because I haven't actually fought those yet, so I can't put up the statues for them. As a Mandalorian, we collect our trophies. And then for the Star Wars D20 idea that we were talking about, this is what I've started with so far. So this is Lego Star Wars Galaxies. Anybody who knows, they know what Lego Star Wars Galaxy, or what Star Wars Galaxies was. Probably hands down the best MMO of all time, in my personal opinion. You can play it on some emulators still, but it's not as good as OG. This is actually Storm Chaser or Storm Survivor Camp, the first place you spawn in game. I made it look like this. The medic class gets their gear here. The gunslinger will get their gear here. The assault gets their gear here. And the force sensitive gets their gear here. And these will act as your player houses until we establish our own forward camp. And just run down what I said earlier about this tower here. What was unique about this biome is that right outside Storm Survivor Camp. Literally 300 meters away is that mountain. You can actually see the border of the Stormsick area. So the story is Rebel Intel sent their scout Trace to understand this anomaly. You got the frost biome over there. And then on the horizon over here, you can see the desert biome. Didn't explore much of this world yet. That's about as far as I've gotten so far. I literally unlocked everything by grinding it here to make all the stuff for the players to start off. I could have just put it on free creation mode, but I didn't. So I had to grind all these materials to do all this. Then I just left basic materials in here afterwards. I deleted all the other stuff. So it's truly like a rough start. Just some copper and blast powder. Various food items. This is a permadeath server. And I discovered an interesting little sidebar about survival mode with permadeath. It's actually harder than expert mode. Because even in expert mode, you start off with a talisman. Here you do not. But what you do get here after you finish Storm Chaser Camp is you get a health charm and a glider. Yeah, every class has their starting kit. For instance, the medic, if you want to play as the medic. So back to tank. You get a slurp launcher, a DL-44, a health charm, and a handful of slurp potions that they can distribute to the team. The gunslinger is a pure DPS character. So they get stone plasma pistols, stone musket, basic health charm, and Hawaiian pizza to increase their crit chance as like their buff ability for their class. The assault class is your frontline tank. They get fortifying meat pies as their buff, a marble axe, a couple of E11s, a shield, and a health charm. Reason why they got the E11 is because you can use it with a shield. Then your force sensitive character. Had to use some imagination on this one. They start off with a couple of different types of daggers. If you want to be light side, use the white ones. You want to be dark side, use the black ones. Shard Slinger is going to be like your force projection ability. Warp Rider is your force jump ability. A reflection charm is, well, basically saber deflect. And then they get energizing cornbread to bust up their stamina as needed. Boost up. But everything we do here, because there's no villagers, has to be done by us. This is the little weapon shop. Everything costs rift crystals based off of what star level it is. So that would be 3 Rift Crystals because it's a 3-star item. You get Rift Crystals from doing like Ninjago missions or smashing bus stations. The Imperials are trying to get their hands on the bus stations so they can fast travel everywhere and move their forces. So the Rebel Alliance is destroying those. That mountain over there is a Sith tomb. So the Thunder Lord you fight at the bottom of it is a ancient Sith Lord type character to give you a little boss progression arc. And then your starting class doesn't really have to be your starting class. You can start as that and then build however you want. That's exactly what you would be, a Force-sensitive character on the run. So being that it's in survival mode, I actually have this option that I don't have in the regular mode for expert. I can go here and I could slip this little item spawner on. And once I turn that on, like in creative mode, now I can go into the codex and say I wanted to spawn an encounter of enemies. So let's see, where are they? So let's just say for Slags and Giggles, throw down a couple of sand troopers. Acting like the DM, I have the ability to spawn the enemies that you fight. I could spawn these guys into this village. And now we have to defend the camp from an Imperial invasion. Friendly fire is on, so you got to be careful. If you haven't noticed, I'm playing the gunslinger because I have the sniper rifle. Is that all of them? Spawn 3. Yeah. And it gives me the option to spawn enemies and stuff like that. Or if I wanted to do a boss fight, I could spawn a boss. Like, for instance, let's say that a wild Rancor was on the loose. Do I have the option to spawn those? Probably under beasts. That's my favorite one to use too. Green or yellow because of the acrobatic combat style. Where is it? Like I say, I could spawn a Nexu. That's near our planes. And now we have to defend our base. I'm using the Shadow Caller ability as like my character's jetpack. The mobility on the battlefield. We got some other invaders coming to the village. I actually had to rebuild the cantina before because of one of these guys with dynamite attacking the village. Missed. And then when the event's over, I could just go back in here and switch it back to item spawner off. Yeah, the muskets can pass as Tusken Raider rifles, in my opinion. But yeah, I actually grinded the resources to build both of these too. Went into the Frostlands. I got lucky. I found iron in a chest, so I didn't have to go into an actual cave. But that's why I made the inner fire charm, just in case I had to. But yeah, that's pretty much the starting area for a Star Wars RP-based server. And here's your Jedi crafting station for your lightsabers. I did manage to loot a couple of crystals. I don't even remember how. I went to Star Wars Island. Okay, so I had to do something a little evil in the beginning to get a lot of the stuff too. So also, right nearby here, that's a possible base for a forward outpost. I think that was it right there. Check this out. Why this is perfect for an RP-based server that's a Star Wars theme. Investigating a ancient Sith tomb that popped up. Rebel Cave actually spawned in the storm biome. So I went through there and I grinded a couple of the E11s off of the Rebel troopers. So at least the soldier can have their starting 2 blasters they needed. Well, yeah, this one's ready to go as soon as people are ready for it. Till then, I got the pirate thing going. But that's all I'm going to stream today. I got to get ready to leave and pick up the kids soon. So until next time, the forge is closed. Check you later, Graveyard. Thanks for hanging.